Hello, this is David, and today I wanted to talk to you about the Fusion application. The Fusion application combines the regression analysis and the USL documenter into a USPAP compliant report for low to medium scope of work assignments. Let's take a look. You can get additional information on the Fusion application by watching the frequently asked questions, and also in this section you can download the sample report and the user manual. I'm going to open up one that I've already started. You'll notice at the top you can start a new assignment, and this is where you would click to do your regression analysis. You'll need to do your regression analysis and your USL documenter from within the Fusion application so it knows you're planning to make a report. In addition to the regression analysis, there's also a qualitative adjustment grid. The Fusion also brings to the table some report information. For example, the client information, the appraisal facilitator, this could be the appraisal management company, subject property identification, the subject neighborhood, market area, improvement descriptions, etc. Now, these fields are expandable fields. They don't, when you run out of room, they don't jump to an addenda at the bottom. They just expand. So this type of a report is kind of a mix between a form and a narrative because it's very structured. You can see over here it's very structured. It helps you to fill it out. But on each line, instead of clicking check boxes, you just type out what you want. So I call this type of a report a narraform type report because it's kind of a combination of both, a narrative and a form report. Now, you can also use the phrase builder in most of these lines of information. You can use the phrase builder and you can create phrases and save them and reuse them again. So as you use this and you get the phrases in you want, it becomes easier and faster to use. Now, once you've filled out the report and you get your address in, you'd be able to click on the map, and you would be able to tell it to map by the address. If you didn't have the address, you could have loaded in the longitude and latitude and tell it to place the map marker based upon the longitude and latitude. Or you could just say, I'm going to make my own map. I'm way out here in the boonies, and the web is not going to be able to produce a map for me. So I'm going to click, don't include a map, and you can, include one somewhere else later. But normally you would click map by address and tell it to update, and you could tell it to fill in the fields down here, the longitude and latitude fields based on this. You could click this and it would fill these in based on where the marker is. Then you can move the marker with these buttons here. Now the photos are simply drag and drop for the subject photos. You can drag and drop as many as you want. Once you have them in, you can right click and you can remove the photo. You can move the photo up or down. You can also, on each photo, put a title and some information for each photo. So once this is done, then you would open your regression analysis. Which is already completed. I've already done it. And when you would run it, and when you're done, you would close it, and then you could open up your qualitative adjustment grid. Now in this case, I already have loaded 6 comps, but let's go ahead and remove the 6 comp because it only lets you have up to 6. And I'm going to tell it to add a comparable. And then I get to view all of the sales that I've used in the regression analysis. and it gives me their address and the other information. Now, what we have over here are some symbols to help us know which are the best ones. For example, the ones that have features similar to the subject are going to be marked with this symbol. I don't know if this is real data, and like here's one here. Recent sales are going to be marked with a little calendar. So here's one that's a very recent sale. The prices that the subject where the prices sold close to the subject property are going to have the dollar sign. And see, these two sold similar price, and then location close to the subject, you have the green symbol. See if we have one. Yeah, here's two. Now ideally you'd like these to line up with all four, but they usually won't do that. Then you could pick a sale. It brings it down here. To add a photo, you would simply right click and you could pick a photo and put in. Like I'll just pick one here. Okay. So once you're done with this, now you would come down and do your qualitative adjustment. You could add some information into these other fields if you'd like to. You could add here. There you go. I wasn't clicking on the right button. And you could tell it what you want it to be. It could be noisy road or, anything you haven't already used. Again, this is very flexible. It brings down the fields you used in the regression analysis. That's all it knows to bring down. If there are other fields you'd like to use, you can bring them down into the others. And then you rate them: similar, superior, inferior. Then you get an overall rating. And then you can look at your dates here also, the date of sale on these and your effective date. And then you come up with what you think the sales price should be. Then when you're done with this, then you can look and see and compare that to what the regression had as compared to your indicated value by the comparison grid. And then you can reconcile that here, get a final value, a final date, say okay, and then you'd be done. Now, once you've done this, then you would open up your USL Documenter. And if you've saved a template that you wanted to use, this one's already filled out, you would use it, or you would start a new one and you would fill out your USL Documenter. Okay, then the report would be done. Then you would, I would normally copy this to the clipboard, and then I would paste it into Word, because since this is a Narraform and it's kind of a narrative, you can't control the page breaks from in here. So in Word, you could set up the formatting the way you want, and then from Word, I simply make a PDF. And you can look at your sample report that you can download to see what the finished product looks like. So that's what the Fusion product is. Now the Fusion 1, if you've seen that, that's when you only have regression, and in that version you won't have the qualitative adjustment grid. Fusion 2, you have both. So Fusion 1's kind of become antiquated because I believe most of your lenders still want to see at least a qualitative adjustment grid. All right, thank you very much.